Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is a technical analysis of the stock charts. And this is an update video. We're going to review Goldman Sachs, First Solar, and Las Vegas Sands. Okay, we're going to start off with Goldman Sachs here. I last reviewed this or put out a video that was solely on Goldman Sachs. It was on August 7th. So if you want to go back and review that, if you haven't seen it, it might be good to see that first. I spent a lot of time on the weekly chart. I don't think I have my weekly chart up. No, not on this one. Okay, so the weekly chart scenario hasn't changed in terms of my interpretation of it right now. And right now on a daily chart, I think we've got 5 waves up that peaked up here in January when the stock market was first peaking. And since then, I think we're in corrective mode, and I think we've had 5 waves down in that first draft down to beginning of February. And now I believe that we have gone through what we're calling A, B, C, wave 2 pullback. And on this last thrust up here in July, we're getting a bunch of divergence. And let me take a look in here at, you can see the divergence on the RSI. This is 10-day RSI. And if I pull down my demand index, it's not showing on the demand index like the RSI. So the primary one that I'm getting the indication is on the RSI. All right, so, and honestly, I trust the RSI more than anything else, but I do like to see the the best situations to me are when all 3 indicators are giving me some kind of a signal and they're all in sync. So right now, the main one that's saying that there's divergence at this peak is the RSI. So let's go back with this. So it's continuing to trend. The scenario is going to change here slightly if we go above this peak here. And it hasn't done that. With all the market rally that's occurred over the last few days, it hasn't done that. So right now, what I'm looking for is, and we got a little doji bar here on Friday. Actually, today is Saturday. This is a Saturday update. It's August 23rd, so this is through Friday the 22nd. And got a little doji star bar here, and I'm looking to see, is this going to come back and turn back down? But right now, on a short-term basis, it's trending very nicely. So that's my current scenario. Let me back out of this again a little bit. So if we got a wave 5, I'm looking for it to correct. I don't think that it's corrected enough. I think this correction in here is too shallow. And honestly, I think that this may be the end of a C wave, and we may be beginning more of a major thrust to the downside. So if this rolls over, breaks this trend line in here, and then comes on down, then that's going to start to reaffirm that scenario. So all you can do is put out a couple scenarios and let the waves either track against that scenario or tell you that something different is going on, and we try to use our best judgment. So right now I would be very careful being long in here. If it takes out this high, you're going to feel a little more comfortable about it. We'll have to keep watching the indicators. So that's my best take on Goldman Sachs at the moment. No new trade idea on this stock at this time. All right, we're going to move to First Solar. Let's go to First Solar on a weekly basis. First Solar weekly, this scenario hasn't really changed. Again, this is all of the trading on First Solar back to 2006. Huge move here. It came back down. So right now, I think we're in a corrective mode. I am now calling this, I think before I was thinking maybe it's an A, B, C, and we might be starting off on 1, but I don't think so. That's still a possibility, but this overlapping in here just looks like an ending move, and we're getting a lot of divergence on all 3 indicators with this move in here. So let's go to the daily chart where we've had a little bit more change. So when I look at this last wave count, I really was torn. I could come up with a couple of different scenarios, so I just said, okay, I'm just going to go with the fact that this is overlapping. It looks like an ending diagonal wedge type formation. Let's focus on that. And then the fact that it almost looks like we're getting some kind of symmetrical action in here also. So let's focus on that. If this breaks out and breaks this trend line to the upside, there's a good chance this is going to pop at least up into here. And maybe further. But right now we're just, we're watching to see what is that going to do. Let me see if I have any notes. Daily count. Yeah. Okay, so let me see if we look at the indicators on this at this moment. We're back up here in the overbought, and I say, it's overbought because, see, what's the ADX 16? We have no strong trend going on, okay? It's different if the ADX was like 28 or 30 right now, and we were up here, I'd be saying, well, be wary. But this could be overbought, just like it was right in here when we have no trend on the ADX. Look how the ADX is just going down. It's just going down, and we're at 16, okay? Anything below 20 in my mind and definitely not rising means there's no trend going on. And we're getting a little bit of divergence in the DI, in the demand index in here, just like we got here prior to this little rollover. So that's why I'm wary right now. That's what I'd be looking for, looking to see, do I get a break back below, close below the 10-day exponential moving average, the blue line? And if I do, we'll start to think this thing is going to roll over and break down to the downside. That's my update on First Solar. And then Las Vegas Sands. Let's go ahead and take a look at Las Vegas Sands. I think on Las Vegas Sands, we've got, we are in a third primary wave up, and I think we're in wave 1, 2. We're trying to start looking to end the intermediate wave 2 to resume the move up in primary wave 3. Okay. So when we talk about that, I mean, here's the end of primary wave 1. It was a big, 5-wave move, and then here's 2, and so here is 1, 2, and then I would be expecting this if we are truly in a primary wave 3 up here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. And what I'm trying to figure out right now is, when is this going to end, this retracement down here, this corrective wave? I've now moved this, I think in the previous video, which was back on August 12th. So if you want to go back and check, and by the way, First Solar was August 8th, was a previous video. This one was August 12th. And I had one ending here, and I had some kind of A, B, C. That just didn't sit real well with me, and I just feel like this is more of the end of one, and therefore I think this move, like here you have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and this move 5 here, okay, this wave 5 is an extended wave, and a lot of times when you have an extended 5th wave, the retracement here of the next correction is shallow off of that. So I'm looking right now that this could be ending. And so if the other thing to measure is look at is, let me go back to my mouse, is to look at the retracement on this and say, okay, well, of this wave, how much has it retraced? I grabbed the wrong thing. I hate it when it does that. All right, come on, let's get a little cooperation here. There we go. Okay, go to the top. Now it's retraced a little over 38%, so that is fine. Usually the wave 2s are going to be, deep, 50 to 61.8% or more. But just like this one was probably at least 50% of this move, this wave 2 here. Actually, this wave 4 ended up being a little deeper than I would have thought too. So I think this has met the minimum standards in terms of 38%. And so right now I'm watching to see some kind of signal that this is turning. And so if we look at this, and I'm not getting any divergence off the bottom. Okay, there's no bullish divergence showing up with this move. Okay, so that's number one. The other thing that's a little negative is really low volume here that's actually curving down while this was curving up. But on a positive side, okay, if we're looking to see, okay, what's this telling me? The RSI is right at this trend. Let's look at this, okay? So it's right at this trend. And if it breaks the trend, it's going to be a signal. And the demand index has actually, broken that trend line, and as somewhat of an indication that this thing is going to want to turn to the high side. So we're going to have to watch to see, do we get a close above the 10 and this thing start to pull up in here? I'd feel more comfortable with that if we were getting some kind of divergences. So if we get another move down, say down here to say 65, and we get bullish divergence on that move, I'd feel pretty good that, okay, that's the name of that tune, and this is going to turn then. So if I had to guess, I would guess that that's going to be what happens, and we get more of a turn down. So then the other thing to look for, we'll look to see when this starts to break a trend line, and then we'll end this thing. You look and put a trend line across the top of this corrective action, okay, like this. And we'll color it green, okay. So when this thing starts to turn down here and starts to move up towards this, and once it breaks this, we got a pretty good chance that it's going to be, okay, we're on to the train's headed northbound and it's ready to go higher. So anyway, we are on reversal watch for Las Vegas Sands. We'll see if it starts to turn or does one more little move to the downside. Okay, this is Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you felt like this video was helpful, please share it on social media. I know some of you have emailed me and told me that you were doing that, and I really appreciate that. Like to spread the word that way. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Just click first name and email. You can download the PDF I've got for you, and you'll be able to have access to the Trade Ideas webpage, and get email updates as to when I have new posts out. So, all right, thanks again, and I will be back out later today with a weekend view of the market update. All right, we'll talk to you soon.